We are the chain boys and girls. Okay, we like.
Okay. Yes. So hi, Teresa. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
We are live now.
Hello, Teresa. Your internet is not too good. So let's test. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can see you. I can hear you.
Okay. Okay. Okay, no problem. Right. Okay, so good morning, everyone. YouTubers. Should we start with the YouTubers? Then we go to the Instagrammers.
All right.
Well, we are all the same people. So good morning, everyone. Thank you. Thank you for joining the first edition of Chits Chatting with United Capital PLC. With me today is Temisa. Temisa, hi, how are you?
I'm good. How's it going? I'm excited to be here.
I'm fine, thank you. Okay, so I think my first question will be, how is life on the island? I know you recently moved. I know we are all part of your testimony, so tell us about that.
It's great. I mean, I didn't know that I needed it until it happened. I always thought I was going to live in Surulere. I love Surulere, actually. I mean, when it happened, when I was looking for a place, this happened, and so far it's been so great. Everything is just around me. I mean, with the closure of the bridge, I just think that it was just the perfect timing. So I'm really enjoying it. My friends are around. Yeah.
Okay, so are you saying you're not going back to the other side?
Darling.
Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're saying? You want to you moved here because of what?
Well, I wasn't planning to move, but now that I've moved, I understand why people want to stay here, because everything's around you. Traffic here is better because it's controlled. Everything I do is around here. All the work that I do, I have shoots around, I have interviews, everything is just around. So yeah, I don't think I'm going anywhere anytime. So my house is amazing. Can't you see?
Yes, I can see the plants behind. I can see the plants. It's really expensive. Yeah. I can see it. Okay, so before we go into your life, let me give our viewers a brief intro about you. Okay, and about myself. Let me start with myself. So my name is Omojola.
I hope you guys can see. I hope the network is good enough.
Yes, we can see you, Temisa. We can see you. You are fine. You are okay.
Okay.
You are a baby boy. Okay, so
thank you very much.
So my name is Omojola Shiwanjarinde. I'm the product manager for Invest Now at United Capital. So Temisa Emmanuel Temisa Emmanuel is a media presenter, an actor, a PR consultant, and a brand influencer. He graduated with a BSc degree in history from the University of Lagos. He gained prominence from his Instagram segment called Tea with Tea, and he has grown to be a brand influencer working with numerous brands, ranging from corporate brands to consumer brands. So I'm really happy to have you here, Temisa. I hope you are happy to see me as well.
I'm happy about you. I'm happy about this introduction because I didn't give you guys my bio, but this is the first time someone's actually getting it. Like, yeah, they have to give you a raise for that.
Thank you very much, Temisa. So my first question will be, you read history in school. Why the change? Why did you move into the entertainment industry? And another thing I should add is, I didn't add singer. Why not a singer? Because you can sing.
I sing in church. I've always said that if I'm going to be a professional singer, I'll probably do gospel.
Yeah, I know.
But, yeah, that's it.
Okay, so can I ask you for a favor? Can you compose something for United Capital PLC? You sing for us. Do you mind? Temisa, show yourself.
Run me my cash. I'll give you the album.
And give us small now. Give us small.
I beg, I cannot give small. My voice is resting. I've got
right. Okay. So why did you move? You read history in school. What happened?
So first of all, I was studying law in Unilag.
Okay.
So when I was in art class, my granny wanted me to study engineering, which is so ironic because I don't even know how to use a spanner or a screwdriver or whatnot. So I'm just like, I'm going to do the arts. And so she said if I'm going to do the arts, I should probably do the biggest course in the arts, and that's law. And I actually thought I was going to do well as a lawyer. I'm intelligent, I know that. But when I got into the law space, I'm just like, what's happening right here? Cases, whatnot. Like, I'm just like, what is this? This is not me. And because of the kind of things that I want to do in my life in entertainment, I knew that law was going to hold me back. So whilst I was doing my diploma course, that was going to take me to 200 level of law in Unilag, I wasn't really serious. I was up and down modeling, looking for entertainment work. So I sort of did not make the cutoff, which was a blessing in disguise because I was moved to history. And history was something that I could do. I was smart enough to do it. Like I could be away from school and come back and still ace my exams. So eventually history found me. I didn't choose history. History chose me. To be honest. So only when people will say, I chose this course, I did not choose it. Let us be honest. Now this course choose me. You know when you don't meet your cutoff mark, you now enter history. So I entered history.
I get it, I see.
Yeah, but they afforded me time to chase other things. That's why I really like the fact that I studied history. And it's not a bad course as well. It kind of helped me in terms of like my writing, my just general knowledge of stuff. Yeah, history helped me with that. So that's why it chose me. I didn't choose it anyway.
Okay, so how did you start off this career? So was it a hobby and then it became like your main business, or you grew into it? What happened really?
I've always wanted to do entertainment and just like I derive joy in making people laugh and getting them entertained and just making things lighthearted. So right from when I was in Warriors, when I was like maybe like 12, 13, I knew that I wanted to be like the Utsis and the Derrilays of TV. I knew I wanted to be like in all these movies and just be a star. I loved it. I really wanted to do it. But I started off as a model. So when I was modeling, I modeled for 4 years. All the time I was in like I modeled. But in between modeling, I also had like a 9 to 5, like not a 9 to 5, like a job with the entertainment space. So I was working for Ubi Franklin as an assistant, Techno's assistant, the musician. So I was working as an assistant. So I was really putting myself in that entertainment industry, getting to know the ropes, getting to know the people that actually run the business. You understand? Just so that when I'm out of school, I'm already a badass. I already know everybody. I already know the things that I need to do. So every holiday I was working, I was interning, I was in fashion. I still did fashion. I was Bubu's assistant. I'm a Sigo. I was a creative assistant when I was in 200 level, 300 level. So I was always like just investing myself in this space. So when I came out, like on it too. So when I came out of school, I already had an idea what the industry was about. I wasn't just a newbie or a novice. So my first job was in communications with Red Media. That's Debola and Chude. So my first job was doing the guest list for the Future Awards. And that exposed me to calling lots of celebrities, to interacting with them, and I was living for it because this was me. So it was a lot of hard work, but I did that. They liked my performance, so I entered the company proper, and I went to production. So we're producing all our contents from Robbie Minds to Why Ninja, Why on the Hour, lots of other contents that we normally would produce. So I was learning and learning, yeah. But at some point, I went to the communication arm of the company because it's a group. So I went to the Red Media Africa where they were doing communications. And in communications, we were always engaging influencers and people who were creating content. That's when, as far back as when Instagram content was just 15 seconds. So we're paying these people for content. And I always used to crack my colleagues up. I was hilarious. I was the office clown. So they always thought that you could channel this thing into like making money because we always pay these people that we engage to create content. I'm just like, I'm not sure I want to be a TV presenter. I don't think that we're lying, one thing. But they say you're funny, you can do it. So and I know I've always known that different road that they lead to markets. You understand? I took it for
I
modeling.
agree.
It carried me small, go far. But I did like work. So I can't look and say, sorry, I had to switch to pigeon. I do this very often when I'm getting comfortable. So I can't look and say, if you're doing presenting,
Okay,
you can
even me,
also
I'll
add,
switch to pigeon. I like pigeon as well.
you can also add like this content thing. But I didn't take it serious. I didn't think that I could even make money. I just wanted to make people laugh. So I got a new phone and I recorded my first video and I dropped it. The engagement was wow. I'm just like, yeah. For this is what they do every day for inside my office, they play. We're going to do this stuff. So I started becoming consistent. So in a week I would drop like 3 or 4 videos. People would laugh, like, oh. So it started becoming a thing. But at the beginning it wasn't so easy because I had to grow. I was on 5,000 followers. I had to grow consistently. So I had very organic followers, people who wanted to actually listen to me, that were following me. Eventually, the thing just grew over, I think about a year, it just grew to a point where my first influencer gig now came. When my first influencer gig came, I'm like, oh, wow. It was like times 5 of my salary at the time. And I'm like, wow, this is it. We're going to die here. We will die with this cup on this. So eventually, I now started doing more content. I started focusing on being a brand. And I at the beginning, I didn't want to be tagged as an influencer. I still don't want to be tagged as an influencer. I want to be known as a media presenter and actor who has influence on social media. So I hate it when people say, oh, as an influencer, that's not what I want to be. Because anybody can be an influencer, but that's not what I'm chasing. But it so happens that I can influence a couple of people on social media, and that's how it has been, chat. Really.
Okay. To our viewers, please share your comment section. I'll pick it up and ask him something. Please put the questions in the comment section, and I'll pick it up from there. Timisa, I saw this, and can you hear me, Timisa?
I can hear you.
Okay. So I one video you put up being intentional with the content you put out right now, with your content. Not the challenges you've done and everything. So how there,
Journalizing my internet to your internet.
with, how do you do
You're
that?
breaking.
I feel like it's your internet, but maybe it's my internet. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Okay. Hello.
I can hear you, but I mean you're pixelated, but I can hear you.
Okay, I'm so sorry. I think that means it's my internet. I thought it was your internet. Okay, can you hear me now clearly? Yes, I can see you.
Okay.
Okay, so let me ask my question again. Did you hear my question?
So you said the video, I said we should be intentional with our content.
Yes. So how are you intentional with your content? I know you don't jump on all trends and everything. So how are you intentional with your content, as well as even the brands you work with? How do you select that?
I'm thankful for my background in communication, so I understand what branding should be. Are you there? Okay.
Yes, I am.
Okay, so I understand what branding should be, and because I know what I want to represent, the kind of values that I want to put, like to show, and the kind of audience I want to inspire, I'm very particular about the things that I do and say. So you will not catch me working with certain brands because their own brand values don't align with mine. And it's not the thing of pride, it's not the thing that there's nothing wrong with those brands, it's just that we don't just align. The influence that I have over my audience, I cannot extend it to you or to help your own brand because there's no alignment of any sort. So my goal is to inspire and edify and create content that makes sense, even if it's funny, content that will educate as well. So you can still see like some nuggets of like when I'm doing my content or when I drop a video, as funny as it can be, you can still see some wisdom that you can pick from it. And that's my positioning with my own brand. I've always wanted to inspire, even as much as I'm making people laugh. And when I work with brands, I always look out for what they're about. You understand? So when I work with FMCGs, what kind of FMCGs are they? When I work with corporate brands, what kind of corporate brands are they? What kind of track records do they have? Because also, as much as we're influencing and making money, we're also building our own brands. And you don't want to build a brand that people don't want to associate with over time. You can make money at the beginning, it's fine. But for the long-term plan, and as I said, I'm not just an influencer. I'm building a brand that is whole. I'm a media presenter. I'm an actor. I feel I'd sing in one of these days, you understand? So I want to be able to say, yes, I beat my chest and I did that. I collaborated with this person and we both align on the same values. Yeah.
Okay. You mentioned something earlier about everyone is an influencer, because even me myself, sometimes I say I'm an influencer. I have only 1,000 Instagram followers, but I'm an influencer. It's fine, right? So in your own words, how can you identify a real influencer, or who is a true influencer?
So basically, the word influencer is just somebody who has who can persuade their audience or influence their decisions towards other things or towards a brand. So maybe because of your authority, your knowledge, your relationship with these people, you can influence their decisions, you can persuade them to do certain things. And everybody has that power. Like even if you have 200 people, when you post something, because Jola fixed this type of hair, I think I should actually do this hair. Oh, Jola, why did you buy this hair? That's influencing. It might not be on a large scale, but that's what it is. I came on this thing because of Bisola's influence. You understand? Even if it's a great brand, because of the relationship that Bisola and I have, automatically I'm doing it. You understand? Even if it's not going to be comfortable for me, I will do it. So that's who an influencer is. So that's why everybody has a niche. So you can influence goats, you can influence chicken, you can influence human beings, anything. So, but everybody has their influence. That's why I said I'm very particular about my own values and the brand values, because the people that follow me have some certain values and I've seen it. I know what they're about. There's some things I would do. Some of my followers will send me a DM. I'm like, what do you think you're doing? There's some sort of accountability from me as even an influencer to them. So I'm accountable because of the relationship that we've built. I've become an authority in my own space. You understand? When I say something, they believe it. So you don't want to do things that would make you lose that authority or that influence over people. Yeah.
Okay, so I want to ask you a personal question, kind of.
Which personal question is this one?
Okay, not too personal.
I think I can see you well now.
Okay, not too personal. Okay. Okay, so my question now is, do brands actually pay big money for influencing, or is influencing or being an influencer packaging?
Oh no, maybe for some people it's packaging. Who knows? A lot of people. So like the truth is that they say anybody with reach 10,000 followers for Instagram now an influencer. You go see them brand influencer, social media. You understand? Everybody
media
practitioner. Well, these days everybody got an influencer. But the truth is that brands pay when they know that you have value, and it's the truth that even here is even the scale is not so large. Abroad, people are making money, millions in dollars from being an influencer, because the brands are also making money. So let us bring it to like normal balance, yeah.
Okay.
There was a day I wanted to get a shoe from my friend, and this is my friend, very close friend. So we did an experiment. I wanted a shoe and it was a certain amount, but I didn't want to pay the amount because I wanted to strike a better deal. So I told him, what do I have to do to get this shoe? And he said, make I sell 5. I'm like, just 5? The shoe was quite expensive, but I believe that I had the right kind of followers to make that purchase. Like, they have the purchasing power for that shoe. So what I did was I posted the shoes, I wore it, I tagged them, I did all that I could. And eventually I sold more than 5. So I got the shoe for free. So the thing is, you're adding value to the brand. So what does it cost the brand to give you 1 billion or 2 million when they're making 100 million or 50 million? It's nothing to them. And sometimes it's not even about, I think I'm going to on that side of this question, but sometimes it's not even about, for influencers, it's not even about just making sales for the brand. It's awareness, it's association. Do you understand? So sometimes the sale might not come now. It might come maybe a year after or 2 years after. So like for now, I don't know if I can call this brand Darling Hair, with the work that my friend has done. She's phenomenal. That's Pidemi Zachariah. She has done good work with Darling Hair, where I did look one kind before, now it's top of mind. So once somebody asks me for, oh, do you know anybody where I can get attachment, or what kind of attachment should I use for my hair? Darling comes to mind immediately. And guess what? It was mental conditioning. Over time, we just kept using these influencers, and the quality of influencers, you have a Toke Makima on it, you have a Bocheda on it, you have all the baby girls on it. So automatically, girls want to be like this. And another thing for influencers and their audience is a lot of aspirational energy exchange. So I'm looking at, a young girl who's looking at Toke and wants to be like Toke, wants to buy Darling Hair because she thinks that when she rocks Darling Hair, she self will feel like Toke as well. So all of these things. So when brands see that the value that you bring to them is great, they will pay you. And it's work as well, because so even for women is even more serious, because I know some of my friends who wake up at 5 a.m. they beat face just to create content for you. They are beating their face by 5 a.m. in the morning just to drop the content by 7. So this thing is work. It's actually work. And yes, we make money.
You make money. Okay, so I was about to ask you another question, but I think a question just came in from Ifeturi Dowuji, and then she says,
what does that name sound familiar?
Oh, you know her?
I've heard of that name before.
You've heard, oh, okay. So how can one transit from a regular post to influencing?
What's regular post?
Like our regular post now that we push out. So how can we move from just that post being a regular post to being an influential post?
So intentionality, as I said before, is there. So I think that for me, the currencies of this influencing thing is consistency and intentionality. Being intentional is, you can be intentional, but consistency is crazy. Do you know what it is for? Let's take a fashion influencer, for example. Do you know what it is to be selling those looks back to back? You are putting outfits, how do you become an authority on something? Is when you have been doing this thing for over a while, over a period of time, you understand? So let's take a fashion influencer, for example. They are constantly creating mood boards, doing shoots, pulling looks, getting things done. And at the beginning, it might even be hard because people might not even notice you, but the consistency that you apply to whatever thing you're doing will eventually move you from just being a regular Instagram guy to somebody who is now a fashion influencer. And you don't even need to tag yourself as a fashion influencer. Over time, because of the consistency that you're putting into your work, people would just, are you there? Okay. People would tag you as an influencer. They will slowly start saying, oh, do you think we should wear this? Oh my God, oh, he wore this, let's buy this. Do you get? So that's how you move. Intentionality and consistency. That's how you move from just being a regular guy that posts to an influencer. And it takes a minute. It takes a while because at these earlier stages, it's hard. It feels like it's not moving. But people are watching. So you have to just keep doing it until you strike the water from the rock.
Okay, so I think my next question would be on an average, how many times do you do your videos before you get the perfect one to post? And then sometimes do you do some videos and then you look at them like, no, I'm not putting this one out there.
There was a video I did yesterday night. I was supposed to post this morning. I said, just wake up like.
I mean, you're getting a different vibe, baby.
Well, so for me now, I'm an overthinker, and that's a problem. This is legit a problem. So that video probably there's no problem with the video because I've overthought the sort of engagement I will get or different things that will happen. So I've dropped the video. I will post it maybe much later when I've gingered myself. But we have all these things that happen to us, all these emotions come to me. Oh, would they like the video? Would they engage with this content? Is it the right kind of content? Oh, Timmy, does this represent you? Are you not moving away from what you're about? And sometimes you derail. Like for a minute there, for a while with my content, I just sort of derailed from what I was used to because I was getting so popular. I was moving with some bougie people, so I didn't want to say some certain things. And I realized that the reason why people like you is because you are this stupid person.
So you, yeah.
Keep being this idiot that you are. So, and I went back to full idiot mode. So sometimes when I'm creating content, it takes a while because I've now moved away from just being that guy that can say anything to being a brand. So it has to be right. The setting, why I put this flower for you now because I want aesthetics. You understand? So sometimes when you position a thing, the camera not go hit you well. Sometimes you miss the word you're supposed to say. You know, there's a punchline, and once you drop it, then you go make this video sweet. You don't miss, and you have to record again. So, and I'm a perfectionist, and the Beyonce in me will never let me post a video that's not great. So,
okay, so sometimes when you watch your videos, do you laugh?
I never watch my videos. I cringe. I hate listening to myself.
Why?
I think it's every creative. If you ask around, if you watch my video, my presence, I will cringe. I'm like, Jesus, no, stop. Like, I just feel like secondhand embarrassment. Yeah, like, I don't like watching myself. Okay, I watch myself when I'm alone, but I don't really do it often. I watch myself when I do that with mostly pictures. I look at my picture like, Timisa, you saved this look with power. Ha, my friend. like, so that, there may be like a fashion video, but for my funny videos, because I don't know, I'm just I judge myself very critically. So I'm always like, So, and there's one video I did, Spin Me, which is my biggest video yet. And because people will always remember that video. Till today, I can count the number of times I watched Spin Me because I'm just like, okay, great. I don't see why it's funny, but yeah.
Okay, so my next question would be, so in your own opinion, do you think influencing is a sustainable career? Or do you think it's something you do now and then in the next 5 years you go into something else?
So I don't see it as a career for me to you. There are influencers who have said, oh, it's a career, but I think that for me, I will always have influence as much as I do my work, as long as I do my work, as long as I push my media presenter work, and as long as I push my acting and my funny content, I will always have influence. It's just automatic. But when you say with influence, I don't think influencing itself is a career. It's the work or the clout or the authority or relationship that you get from being Temisan, that you get from being a proper actor, that you get from being a content creator or engaging people online that makes you an influencer. So if I move to United Capital, for example, and I'm talking about investments and whatnot, if I build on that for at least a year or two, I'll become an authority in that and I'll become an influencer for maybe other brands because I'll become an authority. So for me, influencing for me is not a career per se. It can be part of your career. It can be part of things that you do on your career path because you have a following, you're not a household name. Ebuka, for example, will always have influence over Nigerian men who aspire to be like him. Till today, they say they carry Ebuka picture for inside phone, say so and like this, you understand? So it doesn't matter if he's not doing Big Brother anymore, or if he's not it will always be an influencer. That's what it is for me.
Okay, so you have another question here from Bukumi Shobawale. Have you ever turned down a job That
Oh,
informs the kind of project you work on.
my dear, me and Tony down were like this. Because, as I said before, I'm not just trying to be an influencer and make money. Money is sweet to be made, but in the long run, like, I want to be able to say, you know what was very interesting for me? One time, a brand reached out to me. They did not have my money. But they said, Timsa, we know you're premium, but please, that thing sweets my body. I say, yes, you are doing it, Timsa. You're doing it right. So, because you want to stay premium, you have to turn down some things. It's hard, but I turn down a lot of things that don't represent me. For example, I don't do sexual health, all those I won't mention the brands, all those this thing. I don't do some certain things. I do FMCGs, I do corporate, because that's where my values, like, I align with those brands more. So there's some brands where I would look at, how are you making money? Who is funding this business? Oh, is this some fraudulent person somewhere that just pumping money to this business and it's getting popular and using all the celebrities, but we don't know the source of your income? If you're making profit, you declare your profits. How do we know that this business is even a good business? We've seen people who have thrown their weight behind brands that eventually you now hear that they were stealing money, they were laundering money, or all of that. So I don't want to be associated with such things. Do not say, oh, it's Tim said I will say that we should follow. So when I'm bringing a brand and saying this is what they represent, I stand with it and I can defend it even a year or 2 years after. You understand? This conversation a year or 2 years after, I can say, yes, I did it. I did it, and I did it with my full chest. Yes, so I've told a lot of brands. Even at the beginning, it was so hard because I was broke. And you see brands that are throwing you millions in your face. Me, when we say, I never even see million. How much they pay me that time for my work? So there was one I really struggled with. I struggled with it because they wanted to use me for 6 months and they were offering me about like 2.something million. I'm like, Jesus Christ. My salary was not even in 6 figures at the time. So I'm like, what will I do, Jesus? So I spoke to a couple of my mentors. That's why it's also good to have, as a young person, it's good to have like people who help you with accountability, mentors, or people, you understand, who have been there, who have seen things. So I spoke to a couple of my mentors and my older friends. And they were like, are you sure you want to do this? Because if you say that you want to be like this, you cannot be doing things like this. But I'm like, I need the money. But they're like, you have to, this is life. You have to deal with it. Do you want to be this way or you want to make money sharp? And I thank God that I had those people that advised me at the beginning because I didn't take it. And I'm so proud to say that I didn't take it because right now I'm just like, I'm doing better brands than those brands. Yeah. And sometimes these ones, the brands that I actually want, because we have to tell the story from all sides. We're not just say, oh, no, I turned down brands. Sometimes the brands that I want don't come to me as fast as the ones that I don't want. So you now have to find the balance on how to make money, you understand? Because if the ones that you don't want are coming to you with a lot of money and you are broke, one day you'll collect the one you don't want. So all of these things, yeah, are things that you have to factor in. Oh yeah.
Okay, so I think we're all aware of course, the pandemic and everything and how it affected a lot of businesses, industries, and all that. How did it affect your industry? And how did it affect as well? In sense, did it knock you down first, then you came back up with new strategy? How did everything affect you generally?
I think I was really lucky this period because even though things are slow, I'm still thriving, to be honest, compared to lots of my colleagues. And I've looked at it and I cannot make sense of it because these people have more followers than me. These people seem to be putting out more content than I'm doing. But I sort of just booked a couple of jobs during this period. But what it is that it's slow for everybody in the world. Everywhere, nobody will Corona affects, you understand? Even brands are unsure about spending their money, releasing their budgets because they don't even know what next. At the beginning of COVID, brands were so unsure. So I think brands had 2 cycles, 2 seasons during this same COVID. So at the beginning, they were rushing to put out a lot of content with influencers. After a while, they held back because they were not sure what the virus was taking us or the pandemic was taking us. So at some point, it became very slow. But you know what was beautiful? We now realized that we could do things digitally. We didn't need to. People were not driving around. People were not looking at billboards. They were coming to us. We were on social media. We're the ones doing all the noise. So brands were not very specific. They were not throwing money in our faces, but they were very strategic about how they were spending their monies. So that's why it became slow. Before, brands would throw the money at you and say, okay, yes, let's do 20 posts. Let's do like this. Now brands were coming to you like they were squeezing out the value from you. The ones that even came to you were squeezing out the value from you. Do you get? And I kind of understand because across board, it's the same thing everywhere. People are not buying as much. People are not spending as much. Some industries have shut down, like the nightlife industry. So a lot of things. So, for example, if a liquor company wants to use you, for example, for influencing, they are not making as much money as they used to when the clubs were still open. So they're actually also very careful. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Now it's your network.
Is it my internet?
Now your internet. Now you just
okay, let me try and change.
But I can hear you now. It's fine.
Let me change it.
Leave it. I can hear you.
Okay, it's fine. Okay, no worries.
Yeah.
Okay.
So because brands don't even know for a nightlife brand, like for an alcohol brand, for example, the clubs are closed, the pubs are closed, everywhere is closed. So they don't even know if they're going to make money. So they're very careful about the things that they bring to you, the money that they're spending, because they're not sure about making those monies. So across board, it was the same thing everywhere. So things became slower, but I think brands also realized the importance of social media influencers or digital influencers or anybody who has a digital footprint or a presence online, because we now moved to a point where everything was online. This interview is online because we cannot sit down together because we're scared that one person might affect the other. So yeah, things were slow, but we move.
Yep. Okay, so we have another question from Fola Olowo.
That name is familiar. I know that girl.
So you know everybody asking questions.
So the thing is that I know my followers like my friends. So I know that if Fola Olowo follows me.
Yeah. Okay. So as an influencer, how do you handle dry spells financially, seeing as income is not being received monthly like a regular job?
Okay, so I don't spend loud. I know that I appear like I'm very flamboyant, but I don't really spend anyhow. Okay, let's just say the truth. I know I spend, but the thing is, I just don't make any commitment because I wasn't very logical about it. But to be honest, I didn't spend money anyhow. But I'm just very lucky not to. I don't get into those dry spells. Like it can be just quiet for a minute. I could only manage myself, but eventually money will come. But away from that, just up until last year November, I still had my 9 to 5 because of the stability that it brought me. And I've said it to a lot of my friends that if at any point I need to go back to 9 to 5 so I can earn, I will gladly pack my bag and apply for the job. Because for me, it's not about, oh my God, they can't see me like this. It's about surviving. It's about reality. My reality is, if at any point my reality is that influencer work going to make money again, I'll be carrying my bag back to communication and I'll be doing plan for people. Simple. So up until last year, I was working for Somi Solutions. I had my 9 to 5. Okay. It was at the wake of the Future Awards. I'm just like, okay, this is becoming too much. And I started making some money that can take me far. You understand? I can get by with. So I resigned, and the reason why I actually resigned is not because I really wanted to, it's because I wasn't giving my employer any value anymore. So I was working 3 days a week. The remaining days of the week, I'm hustling my other things, I'm traveling. And even in those 3 days I'm giving her, my mind is not there. They're calling me to do something.
Yeah.
So to be fair to her, I wasn't giving her any value. So I just told her that she's my friend. I'm like, Liz, I will look for a replacement for myself, but I need to go because I'm not giving you any value. You cannot just be paying me this amount for nothing. So yeah, there are dry spells, and I'm also looking to opening like businesses and the things that I really like, so that I don't have to depend solely on influencer work. Because at the end of the day, how long can you be an influencer for? A lot of influencers will rise. We will rise from the ashes this period, especially now that everything is digital. People will come through, and you know that I mean, if you don't have a niche, your space is threatened, because they'll be like, okay, you are taking 500,000. Okay, and Cecilia says she will take 250,000. Let's go to her. That's how Cecilia will collect all the job from you. Yes, so that's how she collect all the job from you, and eventually you go into oblivion. I'm joking, but yeah. So for me, I'm very realistic with my earnings and what really is. So at any point where I'm not making money, I will go back to a 9 to 5. But for now, the money is still coming in. I'm also a presenter, so I'm hosting the Future Awards this year again. So money will come out of that. What else do I make money from? When outside was still open, I will host events. I'm on a set. I was on a set. I made money from a set, but acting is still dicey because I never really enter with power. You understand? So all of these things, I have multiple channels of income, but what I'm looking forward to doing now is opening a business for myself so that I have those daily income, because it can be crazy. Thank you for that question.
Okay. Yeah. Well, Temisa, I can see that you have money here. So the money is plenty. So how do you invest this money, Temisa? How do you invest
money is
plenty money from there, from here? How do you
No, when I say from there,
confess, Temisa, confess now.
I say what? To be honest, I'm such a terrible liar. I wanted to give you just one very very smart answer, but it's not going to cut it. But I mean, I've just started really investing like that, to be honest. So, but I'm looking at, I try and save, but I'm not really started investing, because I mean, eventually I would, but I just need to settle down. I just moved into my new house. So
I forgive you.
All my money don't go to this new house. So once I'm settled and I can come back from the ashes, because right now I'm in the ashes. I spent all my money trying to do up this place and whatnot. So right now, I'm just hanging on to his promises. I'm expecting some money. I would invest. Trust me, I would invest.
Okay, so you have some questions here. Another one is from Dami. Do you know Dami? Temisa, do you know Dami? Because you know all your followers. So do you know Dami? Can you see me?
All right. Who's Dami? Who?
Well, the person didn't put surname on.
Oh yeah, Mo Dam. I think no, Dam. Don't worry.
Okay, so Dami says, did you play a role in Lucky Wives?
No, I did not. By the time Lucky Wives was airing, I was still in my 9 to 5. No, I didn't.
You did not. Okay. So my next question for you now is, what is your plan for the future? Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Oh my God, I want to be a household name. I want to be that young person who is inspiring other young people. That your mom will say, "Can't you see Temisa? Can't you be like him?" You understand? So I want to be in this entertainment space and do the work and do the right work, and not just do it in a way that I'm just gallivanting. I want to be able to create a wholesome brand that everybody wants to touch and feel and be a part of. Also, I'm working on my TV show, TVT, the show itself. So, one thing I've learned is that I have a way with people and having conversations with people, leaving your faves and putting them in a space that they will want to talk more and just have fun. So I'm moving that to like proper show, like 25 minutes content, and that's my next project, and that's what I'm working on, having meetings on it. But away from that, I also want to explore Nollywood as well, and just be. And I'm hosting as well, so I'm going to work on this thing. I'm dedicating my 20s, because I'm 23 now. I'm dedicating my 20s to just working hard in this industry and just building a very wholesome brand so that when I'm 30, I can say, yes, this is Temisa. This is a brand that everybody wants, international organizations want to work with. When I see the Bodans of South Africa and the Sumizis of South Africa, I'm like, this is it. When I see the Ebukas, I'm like, this is it. You understand? This is the brand. It's clean. It's I want to touch it. I'm sorry, I'm very dramatic, but that's what my heart is yearning for. So that's what I want to do. That's what I really want to do. So in the next 5 years, trust me, I would have built a very, very good brand. Very good brand.
Okay, so what inspired Tea with Tay? And then I noticed you started
Don't ask me
Motivational
before,
Mondays. No, I haven't.
Are
and
you
then
sure?
what also, yes. And then also what you started something recently, Motivational
Gratitude
Monday. So what are you
Mondays.
grateful?
Yeah.
What are you grateful for? So
during
how
the
did that
pandemic,
start as well?
During the pandemic, I realized that I'm an overthinker by default. So it's so easy for me to get into my feelings and be on my negative vibe. Usually when things come to me, I think of all the negatives first before I think of the positives, which is a big problem. And the pandemic just actually made it worse because people were dying, there was no money around. So I was thinking of all the possible outcomes that were negative. And I stopped to think about all the good things that have happened to me. And because for me, I always try to help myself. So when I was thinking of all those negative things, I started reading like some books, and all the authorities kept saying that gratitude will position you in a way that you begin to see life differently. You have a more positive energy and outlook towards life when you are grateful. So, and I did it, and it worked because whenever I think about all the things that God has done for me or all the things that are going on right with me, I sort of move away from that negative emotion to a positive emotion. So, and I knew a lot of people were going through it, especially on social media. You could just see that, you could just tell there was an air of
I
sadness
agree
and
with
gloom
you.
and
Yes,
despair
yes.
and worry. So what I did was to create that thing, to say, on Mondays, let's talk about what we're grateful for. Because Monday is the start of the week. You're probably not inspired to even go into the week at all. So I'm like, let us do this. So that even when during the week, you can come and refer to it and say, this is what you're grateful for on Monday. You're grateful for life. You're grateful for provision. So sometimes I will find myself not finding anything to be grateful for sometimes. But if you really look deep down, there's some tiny things that you should be grateful for. And I have a lot of them to be grateful for because it feels like my journey is just like someone, like God is carrying me, like it's just steering the ship. So there was a day that I woke up in the morning. I'm like, what am I grateful for? I'm like, I don't think there's anything I'm grateful for. Then I remembered Instagram. I'm like, I'm grateful for Instagram. I'm grateful for the internet. But it'll probably take me longer to get into this industry. But I'm thankful to Mark Zuckerberg for creating this thing. So God probably knew that his son, Temisa, will use this app to get ahead. So Mark had to create it. So I'm grateful for that. You understand? And the internet, I have free internet. No, I don't have free internet. I can afford internet. So one day I was on Instagram. People would complain about their data. They should not waste their data. And what's even this data set that they are shouting about? Because I do data. So I'm grateful to God that I can do data and watch Netflix. So all these things we take for granted because it almost seems that we're in control of them. You understand? We can get them done. But for other people, it's not the same thing. For other people, I knew somebody was telling me that they don't know how I do it. That's just my dude I'm using. That they have to carry them to the place to go and wash themselves to their bodies as well. And I'm just like, this person has been in industry for years. So I get where he's coming from. I get why he's saying this thing. So if I have to be grateful for anything, it's that even though the journey is not so easy, I'm also thriving. So I'm grateful for all these things that we probably don't think about. And when I constantly reflect on the things that I'm grateful for, I don't feed into negativity as much. I'm not thinking of, what's the next one going to come from? Because he provided this one I'm eating right now. So God, thank you for this one. And then that you're going to provide other ones. So yeah, that's what Gratitude Monday is really for. Just for you to maintain a positive outlook.
Okay, so I agree with you that, of course, during the whole lockdown and everything, there was this air. We all felt it, to be honest. At some point, I also didn't want to come to Instagram to see anything
Like
because
you
what
also
was
have to
out
log
there was,
out. Yes.
yes, negative, something negative.
Mm.
To be honest. So we have another question here. Do you know Kene Agu?
Kene, that should be my friend.
Okay, have you ever been paid for a post and it didn't do well?
Oh, my dear, have you met this overthinker? So they have been so. There will be bad days. There will be bad days, but I've realized that it's not about me. Sometimes the post is just not going to do well. So sometimes probably wrong timing. Yes, I've done some posts that during the lockdown. Let me give you an example. I did a post that I thought wasn't doing well. Sometimes I think it's not doing well, but for the brand manager or somebody who knows what they're looking for, it's probably doing well. So there was a post I did for a brand, and there were other people on the brand, yeah. So I think they were fresh out, this young Otig kids that once they post like this, 1 million people go and like the picture, 300,000 people go and comment. I'm like, did I offend anybody? Where are these people getting these comments from? So I stylishly, because I'm always big on my feedback. So I stylishly asked the brand manager. I'm like, what do you think about this post? Stylishly, I said, what do you think about this post? It seems like all these people are getting lots of content. Maybe it's the day I posted this. So she got what I was trying to say. And she was like, yours is even doing what we wanted to do. So now the difference between mine and theirs was that even though I had like, I think maybe 100 comments, they had like 300, 400. I'm just like, theirs was just full of fire, love, emoji, star. There was no engagement whatsoever. No, so and we're selling a product. We're pushing a product. It was a laptop. Mine, people were asking about the product. People were looking forward to buying this product. So the brand team was excited about that. Not even the fire. They were not, the brand manager said, oh, they were not asking me or not telling me how good I look in the photo. They were asking about the products. And that's the value that the brand wanted. That's why, that's when I got it, that sometimes it's not about the comments or the amount of people that follow it. For the brand, it's about sales, about visibility, the right audience, you understand? It's about conversions for them. So sometimes you can have 1 million people engage with the content and it will not lead to any conversion. You know what even made it sweeter? The next day, someone that bought a laptop and came to the comments and said, thank you, I received my laptop from this person. My body just sweets me. I say, God, yes, I've done the work. You understand? So that for me, there will be bad days, but also you also know that sometimes just because a post is not doing 20,000 likes or everybody's not commenting doesn't mean that it's not doing the work they're supposed to do. And also that's where micro influencers now come in. People like me who have micro followings who are not in the millions. We have a niche community. We have people who are loyal to us. We have people who, because we're not even so many safe, we have people that we can interact with. You understand? So when they're asking about the products, I'm replying you myself because I'm on it. You understand? So yeah, but there are bad days, of course.
Okay, so I think my last question will be
finally.
If you could. So my last question would be if you could create a starter pack for a wannabe influencer like me, what will be in it? What will you tell me?
I will tell you to be original and authentic. I know that people say it every time that, oh, be yourself, be yourself. That's your power. Because when every other thing fails, when you cannot be doing your baby girl again, you cannot do some certain things, your originality will always come out. That's what makes you you. So be as authentic as possible and be very intentional about what you want to. From the beginning, define it, that this is what I'm about. This is my standard. I'm not going to go below it. Sometimes you might compromise there, but starter pack for any influencer is originality, consistency and intentionality. Those three things are very important. Be original as much as you can. Be very intentional and be consistent. Do the work. Do the work. That's the hardest part. Just, yeah. So this way we don't start. So this is your TV show. What's the
Okay.
Take screenshots, repost it on social media. They say like they do that thing, they're seeing it. One day they will say, oh, we need somebody to host something. We're like, oh, that girl that does something for United Capital. I think she can do it, sir. But you think that they're not watching, they're watching. Just keep doing it. When I started dressing up, I had a friend who said, oh, you don't turn style blogger. Oh, okay, oh, my dear. When I started making money from being a style influencer, that's when the rush you go collect clothes you wear. I still look at you people. So yeah, be intentional and just keep doing your thing, be consistent.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so thank you very much, Tay. We've all heard it from him. He said we should be consistent, we should be intentional, and one more. What's the last
authentic, original.
And authentic or original.
Yeah.
Original. So thank you very much. It was nice speaking with you.
It was nice speaking to you too.
Okay, so thank you very much to all our viewers. Thank you for taking out time to speak with Tay and I, Jola. It's the first episode of Chit Chatting with United Capital PLC, and we hope you come back next week. Yes.
Yeah. Congratulations. I will send you that message.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, so thank you very much, everyone. It was nice speaking with you all, and we hope you come here again next week. Okay, have a wonderful day and goodbye.
Bye.
Bye, Temisa.
Bye.